about the stupidest things sometimes. She gets on my nerves.
People all over the world ride the John Dance, ride, start a love train, love train. People all over the world ride the John Dance, ride, start a love train, love train. Let it ride. Come on, let it ride. You better let it ride. Let it ride. Get on board. People all over the world ride, join hands, ride, start a love train. You feel like singing? I want to hear you. I want to hear you out there. Let me hear you. What they do? They smile in your face all the time. Want to take your place, the backstabbers. They smiling in your face all the time. Want to take your place, the backstabbers. Listen, all you fellas who have some more and you really care, yeah, yeah. Can I call with your fellas who better beware, yeah, yeah. Let we cry, we cry together. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with you, no. Here we go, walking the road of ecstasy. Here we go, oh, baby, here we go. And I'm flying to Stanley heaven, going right on to Stanley heaven. And we're gonna go step by step together, step by step. Go on, go on.
New Jersey! Y'all give it up for this is Mr. Eddie Levert and his partner in crime, Mr. Walter Williams Sr.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. Well, today with me, I have Eric Nolan Garrett. He's a solo artist in his own right, but also he sings with the Mighty OJs, the Mighty OJs. I was hoping to have Walter on, but he's not shown up, but that's fine. We're going to talk to Eric about his latest single. And it was really interesting, Eric, because when I read the brief of Give Her Your Love, you said it was very much about you needing to get information, advice, and guidance in terms of communication in a relationship. Now, was that your own personal relationship, or was it just something that you wrote about?
No, you know what? It didn't. No, it wasn't about my own personal relationship. But after I recorded the record, it started to be. It wasn't supposed to have been that way at first. First, I was playing basketball, and we have locker room talks. You know what I mean? And the guys were talking to me, and they were venting about the stuff that was going on, in their relationship. And at the place that I play basketball at, they call me the OG. You know what I mean? So they were venting to me, asking me what to do. So I thought that was a great concept. I said, but what I'll do is I'll flip it, and I'll be the one to ask, how do I, treat my girl? And I'll go to an older guy, or OG, which was Walter. Because I felt like me and Walter's voice mesh pretty good. We have such a chemistry, and we know how to feed off each other. Than opposed to if I had asked Eddie to do it, I think that it would have automatically just sounded like an OJ song.
All right. Okay. Okay.
I mean, because Eddie's voice is so powerful and so distinct. I just think that just him being on the record would make it an OJ's record. You know what I mean? I think with Walter, I could play off of Walter. Walter could play off of me. Our voices are so similar that we could probably have a good chemistry. And I had already had a commitment from Scotty from the Whispers that he said that if Walter didn't want to do it, that he would do it. But I asked Walter one time, and he said, "Yeah, let me know what time studio time is." And he came in and he nailed it. He came in with his Popeye's chicken, because that's what he eats. That's what he eats when he records. He eats Popeye's chicken.
I've had some when I was there the last time. I think I tasted Popeye for the first time in LA in March, and this girl was going on about Popeye's chicken. I'm like, okay, let's try this Popeye's chicken.
So yeah, that's what he does, because he says the grease from the chicken coats his throat and helps them to sing better.
Okay.
He didn't mention the fact that it would put on 20 pounds. He just said that it would go in his throat. He even got to mention that part. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh, brilliant. And I mean, you've been with the OJs for how long, Eric? So you've got that
27 years, March.
Okay, and you've all got a really close bond between you all, because just listening to some of your interviews, there's this real thing of honoring your craft, honoring your art. There's this real thing of let's keep it real, let's keep it authentic. There's a real sense of man's got to do what a man's got to do. Discipline, focus, practice. That came through so strongly, and so I guess you working with Walter, that synergy that you've both got, it really showed out in this track. Give her your love. And what was some of the guidance that Walter gave you? And did it work, Eric?
Well, let me tell you something. It really always worked when you get advice from Eddie and Walt, because it's a trial and error advice. They have done it and they have failed. You see what I'm saying? So they have actually, this is tried and proven. So listen, Eddie used to tell me, he said, look, you treat your woman as you would treat yourself. If you're going to treat yourself good, treat your woman better. And if you do that, she'll roll out the red carpet for you. Because women, especially in today's climate, and I know this to be true myself, I didn't need anybody to tell me this part, but in today's climate, I'm sorry about the camera thing, because I don't like me looking like this. I can't get a good focus on this camera thing. Yeah, I can't get a good angle, right? I'm having a hard time, man. So,
yeah, I'm just looking at your nose as you're talking. Yeah, keep.
See what I'm saying? That's cool. That's cool. Wait a minute. Because Howard had his phone the whole time. I was like, I'm not holding my phone the whole time now. But he did. Hold on. I'm going to try to make it good. Okay, something like that. So
okay, yeah.
So look, but the things that I did know that yes, if you treat your girl good, she will treat you better. Because women can treat you better than men could ever treat you. And I think in today's climate, women are so shortchanged, so to speak. And I use the word shortchanged because there's no longevity in the way they get treated. Like they some women who feel like just going to take them shopping and get an outfit, getting a purse, or getting hair done, nails done, that's treating them good. But what they fail to realize is that that's only the flavor of the month. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That has like a 6-month expiration date on it or something. You know what I mean? Now you go off to the next one trying to get the same thing that this guy did, because this guy don't really want to kick it with you no more because he found something else. You know what I mean? So when it comes to longevity of a relationship, I just feel like, you know, you just treat your girl good. You know what I mean? You just treat her good. I mean, and that don't even go from like taking her to the mall, taking her to dinner. That goes from just your attitude, just the respect of how you treat a woman. Just the respect part. My girl, I've never used the word that, you know, I never used derogatory words to a female, you know, like, hey, B, hey, you know, F you. Woo. I've never done that because I think I'm just more conscious because I have a daughter.
Okay, yes. That's always,
you know,
yeah.
And I have said in interviews that my daughter raised me. You know, because I was notorious when I was young. I was notorious.
Notorious for what, Eric? Notorious what? Say it.
Notorious. Notorious.
Yeah, for what? Come on. Notorious for what?
For what? Oh, you said for what?
Yeah, notorious for what? Come on.
Oh, women, man. Man.
Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes.
I gotta look at you. Man, I used to have so many girlfriends, and I didn't have a conscience. I didn't have a conscience as to that was somebody's daughter. That's the top of the list.
Yeah.
If that's someone's daughter, then she's a woman. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I just didn't have no feels. It just didn't mean nothing. And then when I got a little girl, and I knew I had to raise her, I knew I had to teach her some of the stuff that guys are going to try to run on her and say to her the lines they're going to try to say, and you know, all the little stuff. Oh yeah, I had to teach her all of that. I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that no more. Then I start having a conscience, and that's why I say my daughter raised me. And then being a man, yeah, I was a father. I've been in my daughter's life since birth, but I still give credit to her for letting me see what I didn't see in women before. Bless you. You know what I mean? So, so God knows what he's doing when he does what he does. You know what I mean? And actually, that changed my entire life. That just changed me.
Sorry.
I didn't gave you the sneezes. That last one.
Got this little tickle because the pollen is quite high today, you know, with the hay fever.
Oh yeah.
It gives that tickle, so I've been trying to stifle it, but you know.
Okay. You're good. All you gotta do is just have that London accent. You're good, trust me.
Okay. Well, I'll keep talking as I sort of splutter through the interview, right?
But so to answer your question, they have given me bits and pieces when it comes to how to treat women, people, business. They have done that for me. But the song itself, I wanted that to minister to people who just don't get it. Because because I've had those locker room talks. I've heard it firsthand, and I'm scratching my head like, so you don't know what to do for real? So I've heard that more than 4 times. So if you heard it more than 4 times, you probably should multiply that by 10. But then that 10, that 40, you got to multiply it by 10.
Yes.
So that means that some, people think like that. Really, they don't know what to do. Like, she's getting on my nerve.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know whether to push her off the balcony or what. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Hold it, bro. Hold it. Just treat her good, man. Give her your love. She'll give it back to you twofold. What you think? You think so?
I think it goes both ways as well. And communication is key. I mean, we have our different communication styles, and it's not always easy to say how you feel. But once you can harness and build a relationship, it's a bit like you guys, as a group, you've built the foundation, haven't you? And that's why you can get on so well. And I'm sure you still have your moments, your ups and downs, but because you've built a foundation. So in any relationship, once you build a foundation, then you can sort of navigate and you can maneuver. And, they all say men are from Mars and women are from Venus, Yeah, but I feel once you're able to communicate that and show that, but obviously, if you don't feel that for yourself, you can't really show that to somebody else.
Now that's a lyric in the song.
Oh, okay.
It's a lyric, and that's one of the lyrics in the song. That men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
Yeah.
They say that they say that we're from Venus and that men. Yeah, they say that they're from Venus and men are from Mars. Yes, communication is the key. But sometimes one person is not listening. So when that person is not listening, what do? You just shower them with love. I don't think that you fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way. I think that two negatives could never make a positive.
Absolutely.
Right? So hopefully people gravitate to it. Hopefully people will like, the concept and the lyrics and the performance. Walter and I, we managed to squeak out a pretty good performance on this record because that was even organic. That was like, let's go in here and do it. Walter was in a great mood. He was in a great his whole demeanor was just cool. It was like on a big brother vibe, like let me help my little brother. You know what I mean? And as far as you said something earlier about, you sure we have our differences? You know what's weird about that? 27 years of being with these guys, I have never really had any differences with them. And I think it's because my mother had raised me in such a way, and I will put it on my mother. My mother raised me in such a way to respect my elders.
Yes.
That when they say something, and even if I think it's not cool or not right, I don't challenge that because they're my senior.
Yeah.
And by me being, it's no secret that I'm the guy in the middle, but I'm also the glue to that group. So my disposition is always upbeat when I come around them. So if the dressing room is kind of solemn and nobody's laughing, nobody's joking, then I'm the one who cracked the jokes.
I can see by your T-shirt, that just by the T-shirt that you're wearing, you can tell that you're a bit of a joke.
Yeah, that's my Tom and Jerry. Those are my people. So I'm the one that break the ice, so to speak. And you know what? I don't even know I'm doing it half the time. I just know that the room needs it.
Yeah.
I just know that the room needs it. I just know that this is dead in here. So I just try something. I just want to see people smile. I just want to see people laugh. I'm not telling you that I walk around with a smile on my face or I'm joking all the time. I'm just saying that opportunity situation. If that situation, if it means that I need to do something to kind of break the ice, then that's what I'll do.
Brilliant.
You know what I mean? So
and also,
I don't have too many run-ins with them.
But also, I think it's just you. It's your personality, so you don't have to try that much because it's just you. You just exude who you are. You're comfortable with that, And I guess sense that they probably look at you and think, yeah, that's Eric, because that's just who you are. And like you said, you're the glue that holds everything together. You know, like I said, just wearing a t-shirt like that, you've got to be the glue that holds everything together.
And this wasn't on purpose. that's just me. I love this t-shirt.
Yeah, and that says something about your temperament. That says something about your personality. Because you know, another cat. I like using that. Another cat would not be wearing a t-shirt like that. But
pretty much.
And that's really good. So you know, how has the what's the take up around this track? You know, what's people's views on it? Especially you said those that you spoke to in the locker room. I'm sure that they've listened to this track. What's the feedback been?
Okay. The feedback that I heard, that I've been hearing. Oh, great. Oh man, you and Walter on a song. I think that's, you know, the chemistry is so great. The music is so great. The lyrics are great. Now I've been hearing this for the last 3 weeks. How great this song is. So today, this happened today. Joe Mason told me today, 3 hours ago, he said that a gentleman that promotes records said the record was not good, that it was dated, and that it'll never hit the charts. Okay. I'm number five in the UK. Wow. On the breaking records charts. I'm number 5 in the UK. I'm number 24 in top 150 of R&B and R&B, soul, and rap.
Excellent.
In 3 weeks. So I explained to Joe. I said, Joe, listen, man. No, everybody's not going to like my music. And just because this guy is a record promoter, he's still a human being.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's still a human being. It don't make him know music no more or no less than me. He just know what he liked.
Yeah.
And maybe he didn't like the record. But that's not the consensus of Joe Public. Joe Public is the one got to buy records. And I always explain that to people that, you know, us as musicians, I don't listen to too many musicians' opinions because you're not going to buy a record. I mean, just listen. I'm going to give you a perfect example. I'm going to give you a perfect parable, okay? Shark do 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 do.
Oh yeah.
Shark do 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 shark do, right?
Yeah.
Do you actually think that a musician would say that's a great record?
No.
He would never say it's a great record, right?
No.
It's the biggest selling records of all time.
What shark?
Biggest selling record of all time. Wow. Not in pop, not in R&B, not in jazz, it's the biggest selling record ever. Past Thriller.
Wow.
You hear what I'm saying? So I can't go to a musician and ask him nothing. Because all he's going to do is critique it musically.
Yes.
Not organically. Joe Public has the last say. They got the final say. They want to spend the dollar. They're spending the dollar. Not your musician, but he want it for free. He wants you to send it to him. Man, why don't you MP3 that to me, man? Let me get that.
Okay.
He ain't gonna buy a record. He ain't gonna buy a record.
Yeah.
So I don't care what they think.
And sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's life. You know, people will always have an opinion. But if you believe in something, you just go ahead, you drive ahead. And, you know, like I said, just listen to you guys talk about what you do and the discipline and the focus. Once you've got that discipline and focus and that belief, it doesn't matter because there's always going to be someone around that agrees or disagrees or likes or doesn't like. The main thing is that you put something together And I feel it's more so about the message as well. There's an important message that you wanted to get out into the world, because of the conversations that you had, those locker room conversations that you had, and also knowing that it's changed your life, having that conversation with Walter. And like you said, your daughter was she's your greatest teacher. So it's just much more than just you're putting out a track. There's a message. And that's where the old school comes in, because old school music, there was a message into the music, and that's what you offered us all.
And that's and Mr. Austin, listen, that's where, if I'm guilty of anything, I am guilty of the message. All my records that I ever released, it was a message. Reminds me, everything in this world is good. Reminds me of you. On my way, I'm on my way to pick you up, to show you out to a nice time. I miss you. In my life, Cologne. All the records I ever released, it's always been a message. It's not a browbeat message. It's not a message like, free the people and don't do drugs and put the guns down. It's not a browbeat message, but it's a message of when you I guess when you have that, you trying to be cool and you don't think you should show your woman your feelings. Well, I'll show her your feelings.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the song. I'll put your feelings in the songs, and you can actually just take the record and say, babe, listen to this.
Yeah.
And so I'm cool with that. And those are my messages. So if anybody thinks that I should be singing about all this other raunchy stuff, they're never going to get it from an Eric Nolan record. Like never. You might as well turn your radio off when Eric Nolan comes on, because you're not going to hear that from me. So that's probably what, I'm not saying what they're saying today. I'm not doing what they're doing today, but I think that there's a ear to hear what I'm doing. And I think that there's an audience for that.
Absolutely. And the charts are clearly showing that, Eric. So, thank you for taking that message and doing something with it. And I hope that a lot of men and women, listen to this and take that and infuse it into their lives, because, we can have more healthier relationships if we just know how to just bring it together a little more. Brilliant. Well, Eric, it's been a real pleasure. You see, you got me spluttering all over the.
It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, it's been a real.
Whenever they say real, it's been a real pleasure. It's time to go.
Well, how much longer?
You're talking about how you were longer than that. Now, you know what? I'm feeling.
No. Hush. I spoke to Howard. It was about 20 minutes. And if you want to take this up, I can go and measure the timing and send it.
Well, let's say this. You talked to Howard 20 minutes. Howard talked to you for 40. I know him. I know how to talk to him. All I gotta do is say hi, Howard.
That's it. So it's all over.
I love that guy, but I'm very appreciative to talk to you. This is my shameless plug. I have a radio station. I have a radio show in Cleveland.
Go ahead.
Okay. I do a radio show in Cleveland on WOVU 95.9, and I'm on drive time at 3 o'clock on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I do a Sunday Night for Love or only show at 8 o'clock.
Oh, so a nice moochie show.
Yeah, it's cool.
I gotta listen in.
Cool show. It's just a cool show. It's less talk, more music. And I tell them, if you want to hear talking, the other station got D.L. Hughley. I promise you, he gonna talk. I promise you, he got something to say. But if you want to hear music, you just keep your station. You keep it locked right here. You're gonna hear some music.
Nice.
You need some talking, go to the other station. DL's over there. He'll be over there. I promise you. He got something to tell you.
Nice.
Oh,
Pleasure.
man, I got a million of them. I just love talking to you. I just like to hear you talk back. That's cool. Oh, and for your UK listeners, your UK audience, hit me up sometimes on my Instagram. I am Eric Nolan. I'm on my music page is Eric Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a clue what my Twitter is. I think it's I am Eric Nolan. I don't know. I don't be on there that much.
Okay.
And to know what I'm doing, you can go to ericsroom.net.
Okay, brilliant. ericsroom.net.
Did I get all that in? I got it in, right?
Yeah, ericsroom.net. I'm not going to cut you off. I will give you the time to give you your kudos.
you gotta have me back, man.
I gotta what?
You gotta have me back on your show.
I will do. I will do. But the usually audiences, they 20-minute span and then they sort of drift. So then we
right
in segments. And then
got you.
And also with the OJs, they're winding down now, aren't they?
They're what now?
They're winding down with their touring.
Yes, we're doing. This is the farewell tour we're doing, the last Love Train tour.
Oh wow!
So they're 80 years old, and they're gonna make this the last one. And I'm just gonna try to find something else to do. I'm trying to do my Eric Nolan stuff. In the fall, myself and Glenn Jones, we got a record coming out together. So you got to have me back. See, I thought I'd throw that to you. I just all I want to do is hand the ball to you. You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. Now you can fumble it, or you can run it into the end zone. Now I gave it to you. But me and Glenn Jones, we got a record coming out in the fall.
Excellent! Wow. Yes, you will definitely be back on now. That's the hook, isn't it? That's the
hook. I did that on purpose, so that you can have me and Glenn back. Because Glenn will come on here with me.
Okay, excellent.
He's not playing golf.
Okay, good. Okay, well, keep.
I promise you I will.
And it's been I've really enjoyed this, and say hello to Howard. Say hello to Howard when you next see him. I think they're back in the UK in a few weeks' time as well. So it's been a real pleasure. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking. Excuse the cough as well. I've been talking to Eric Nolan about his new single, "Give Her Your Love," and I would, really encourage you and inspire you to, go grab it because it can help support your relationship get better. Yeah. All right.
Don't know why we argue about the stupidest things sometimes. She gets on